My completed JRPGs list might be thinner than other years thanks to a more than extended playthrough of a certain service game from my favorite series, but that doesn't mean I don't have JRPGs I didn't complete or adore in 2024, and in fact, I think the 3 I finished are more than worth talking about, especially my favorite from this year. The things I finished bar the lost might be shorter than other people's picks, but were the games that were achievable for me to finish in a year that certain things and gaming choices were making me feel overwhelmed and help remind me of the fun of exploration in console JRPGs, whether in bursts of epic adventure or in hours of map discovering fun. My picks for 2024 are all from worlds I adored being in, all full of fantasy of different flavors, so I hope you enjoy hearing my JRPG picks for 2024 before we get to playing more things this year. In my struggle to finish things outside of Atelier Gacha Hell this year, Granblue Fantasy Relink was one of the things that saved me, as its approachably smaller in time but epic in scale cinematic chunks of story let me feel like I was able to finish something when I felt like I couldn't, and gave me that console game payoff of beauty and heartwarming story that was the reminder I needed of why I preferred these bigger screen JRPG epics in the first place. When I look back at my time with Relink, I remember fast-paced, pure fun thanks to its satisfying action combat, making a variety of characters fun to play, and vast landscapes with treasure and different ways to explore, something I found further as I grabbed my review footage and found hidden boss battles and more characters to play with that can make the world feel incredibly playable if you want to put in more time. My playthrough was a satisfying 17 hours that kept cinematic pace, constantly giving beautiful visuals and smart boss battles that made it fun to jump in and out of during the months I did until its epic conclusion. It's an easy one to fit in if you missed it, has music I still love listening to, and is probably even better for fans of the series, and is a game I'm glad could remind me of the wonders of what console JRPGs really can be in these modern console stories that led me to even better experiences throughout the year. Well, a lot of my GUS game time in 2024 was spent with a smartphone game from my favorite series that took way too much of my time. I feel like I can forgive all in the end thanks to their offerings for 2025 and with their final game of last year. Since I played the first Fairy Tail game back in 2020, last year's Fairy Tail 2 had me mostly expecting a little bit of anime fun, but I was extremely pleasantly surprised to be greeted with Rise of 3 levels of exploration, getting lost along the way with all the little things to do on the map that I couldn't help stop for, all while being reminded of an anime I want to get into with fun characters, costumes, and flashy attacks that make it a memorable addition to top off the year with. It's a reasonable and fun 30 hours of gameplay that can be extended or shortened depending on how lost you get enjoying clues and super bosses, and if you like anime and want a kind of Rise of 3 light, it's an approachable game to get into. I loved getting lost in it, it has me extra excited for GUS offerings this year, and is a solid game for anyone looking to play in a well-recreated anime world. I'm sure I echo a lot of people's sentiment that Metaphor ReFantazio was a pleasant surprise from last year, although maybe some of you were smart enough to see its potential long before it was out. I try to keep a little dark on games I'm looking forward to these days, so I didn't fully realize its quality and parallels to Persona until its mammoth of a demo came out. From there, with its take on solid mechanics, dungeon crawling, and fantasy itself, it was easy to see it was something special that was a pleasure to play through in the full game. Metaphor did so many things not only right, but well in its 100-hour plus campaign. It balances its day and night cycle familiar to Persona fans while also being respectful to players' time, letting things feel thoughtful but also fast-paced. Battles are satisfying with its more concise choice of summons to fight with, and in its non-battle moments, all the characters are well written and acted with such a variety of them to enjoy. I never thought one of the most touching social links I would ever play would come from an old cave bat, and it tackles themes of politics, discrimination, and the loss of children with respect and only for the sake of building culture and story, all in its metaphorical fantasy that builds upon its world to make every moment of it feel meaningful right until the very end, all with the right amount of tension in its big moments. I can only hope we see something from this series again, or another Katsura Hashino game as good as this one in the near future, or however long it takes to make something this brilliant again. In any case, it'll be living rent-free in my head for a while as a standout JRPG and wonderful fantasy story, making me more than happy to give it the crown as my favorite JRPG from last year that raises the bar for everything we'll see in this next one. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what your JRPGs of 2024 were and if you think anything will top them this year. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!